Hey everybody, what's going on? This is TwoHeadedFlounder. Welcome back to another deck profile and battle video. Today we're going to be looking at Metagross. So I did upload a Metagross-GX list for post-rotation a while back. Since then I've tweaked it just a bit. Certain things I liked about the deck, certain things I didn't really care for after more extensive testing with it. And I kind of just like this a lot more than I was liking the other ones. So I'll mention some of the differences and changes, but before that I just want to mention I've been away for a little bit. Life is very pain and you know, likes to get in the way of being able to record things, so I finally had some free time. I'm back and here we are, and I want to know what kind of deck you want to see next. Maybe if it's one of the older post-rotation ones, maybe if it's something new in general that you want to see. I'm thinking about making a Metagross-GX video soon. I have to get the cards first, but I'm really liking Metagross-GX a whole lot. But other than that, yeah, let's get into the list. So, Metagross, super solid GX card. Stage 2 with 250 HP, as much as it can have, is 3 retreat cost, which is okay exactly because of its ability. If not for that, it would be pretty bad. And then we have a weakness to fire, which at the moment is actually pretty solid, and a resistance to psychic, which is also very solid. Geotech system, once during your turn, before you attack, you may attach a psychic or metal energy card from your discard pile to your active Pokemon. So of course we're going to want as many of these in play, and because of that ability we get to essentially remove the 3 energy attached Metagross, retreat them, and then apply all the energy right back up to the next upcoming Metagross, which is just makes this super solid. So Giga Hammer does 150. This Pokemon can't use Giga Hammer during your next turn. It's just solid damage. With a Choice Band that hits 180, that's knocking out a whole lot of things, and of course with Delmise adding an additional 10, we're going to be hitting 190 to knock out things like Buzzswole or Lapras-GX. So just really solid numbers to be hitting. And then of course we have Algorithm-GX. So before post-rotation happened, we had cards like N that were just so dominant in the format, which kind of made Algorithm a not so favorable GX attack. If you had a GX attack, you probably want to use something else. However, now we have Judge and Lima, so yeah, very like not gonna happen every game. Not everybody's gonna be playing a copy of Judge, things like that. So Algorithm is a whole lot better, which effectively means if we go first, turn 2, we can Algorithm for any 5 cards we want, and pretty much just keep him on our hands as long as our opponent doesn't play one of those 2 cards, which is great. So that means we can set up for the next turn getting another 2 Metagross in play and just going to town doing damage. And I gotta say, I really do like this, and this card has just become a lot better thanks to the format change. Of course, we're also going to be playing 2 copies of Metang. This is going to be very important for dealing with Hoopa and Alolan Ninetales. This will just straight up knock out Alolan Ninetales, which is nice, but Hoopa cannot one-shot us, barring some extra damage output from, you know, other sources. So this is pretty solid and going to be very useful. And then, of course, I'm playing this Beldum because this is the one I prefer. It has 1 retreat cost and 60 HP. It's not too bad. 20 damage for a single energy. Mainly why I play it is because this one, even though it has 70 HP, has a retreat cost of 3, and this one automatically has a retreat cost of 2. It can go down if you have more Beldum on your bench, and it could potentially be free if you have 2 Beldum on your bench. But this one is a solid 1 retreat, which means if I lead off with this and I get my Vulpix in play, all I have to do is attach the energy, retreat, go into Vulpix. I don't have to worry about anything else. It means I get my guaranteed Vulpix. And Vulpix is a very key part to making Metagross work. Usually in the past I'd run 2 Vulpix. Just running 1 seems to be working out pretty fine for me. If I prize it, it does suck a little bit. But thanks to Algorithm being a little bit better now, it's not the end of the world. We're also playing a copy of Resource Management Oranguru. As an additional attacker that can get around some of those safeguard Pokemon, Resource Management is a great way to be really annoying. So in most scenarios when it comes to going against Metagross, you're going to do a lot of damage, they're going to retreat and then Max Potion all that damage away. And that's really annoying, and that prevents you from getting knockouts. Unless you're hitting for super effective damage or have an attack that does exactly enough to take it out, you're pretty much putting damage for it to be removed, and you have to start right back from the start. And just being able to recycle some of those powerful item cards, such as Max Potion or Cynthia, is just great. Of course, we're also playing a copy of Sagaleo Prism. I just really like Sagaleo Prism. I don't know if anybody else does or not, but it's a basic with 160 HP. It's super solid. Radiant Star will let you accelerate metal energy. It's not the best attack to be using in this deck because we already have Metagross, but Corona Impact for 160 damage is fantastic. It really is. And it just really does the right amount of damage that you really need to do on a basic. So it's just really good. I really do like this card. So we also have a copy of Delmise just to, again, put that damage output slightly up so we can do a little bit more damage. Thing to mention that these two can actually together with the choice band hit up to 200 damage. So if you need to do the exact 200 damage, then there is that. So that's pretty good. But yeah, if you just ever need to hit that 190 mark against a Buzzwole deck or a Lapras, you bench Delmise, you're good to go. If you're not playing in one of those matchups, I wouldn't necessarily recommend benching Delmise, but if you're playing against something like a Lycanroc deck, so, Lycanroc only has 200 HP, you can use this with Corona Impact and do the 200 damage, as mentioned. Also, we are running Psychic Energy in the deck, so Anchor Shot can be used. Defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn, so you lock them into place while also doing 70 to 100, which is pretty nice. A copy of Mimikyu because Copycat is just a strong attack. We're playing Psychic Energy anyways because Metagross' ability works with it, and we're playing Lele in case we want to use Lele GX attack. So Copycat. If your opponent's Pokemon used an attack that isn't a GX attack during the last turn, use it as this attack. So of course, if they're playing Buzzwole, we can hit them for super effective damage while also sniping their bench. Just things like this. It's just a really good tech card, and it's worth a slot in the deck. And of course, 2 copies of Lele because Wonder Tag is a fantastic ability that we really, really need. Energy Drive is just a great backup attack for 2 energy, and Tapu Cure, as per mentioned, will heal all damage from 2 of your bench Pokemon. So if we have 2 Metagross on the bench damaged and we have no Max Potions or no way to get them back, we just go ahead and Tapu Cure. We may lose Lele, but we'd rather lose Lele than 2 Metagross. So that's it for Pokemon. Moving on to our items, we have a copy of Enhanced Hammer just because it's super good. A lot of the decks right now are running a lot of special energy, and just being able to remove that special energy is just pretty necessary. Slows them down, does a lot of great things. We have a copy of Field Blower because removing tools and stadiums, if they're annoying, is going to be pretty important. So we're going ahead and playing a copy of Field Blower. 3 copies of Max Potion because that's how Metagross works. You know, you take the big hits and you dish them back out, and then you heal and then retreat. So yeah, very integral to the strategy. I can't speak strategy. Copy of Palpab because I put this in every single one of my decks. 4 copies of Rare Candy because max consistency. We are playing the maximum amount of Metagross, which means we obviously want to max out on all of that. Copy of Rescue Stretcher because getting some of these Pokemon back is very important. 4 copies of Ultra Ball because it's our best way to search out most of the Pokemon in the deck. There is something to be said about Mysterious Treasure because we have a few Psychic Pokemon in here. But I'm just sticking with the Ultra Ball. I have Algorithm and Vulpix. So 4 copies of Cynthia. It is our best draw support in the game. 4 copies of Guzma, not only for consistency purposes, but if we ever do need to retreat our hefty retreat cost guys, we have Delmise, Sagaleo, Metagross, and Oranguru, who all have, and Metang, that all have a pretty high retreat cost, so just getting them out of there can definitely be very useful. 2 copies of Lily, just because we need some more draw, and Lily is honestly a fantastic draw supporter at the moment. I'm not a big fan of Copycat, not a big fan of Judge at the moment at all. But if there was room in this deck to run 4 Lily, it would probably be running 4 Lily. We're playing a copy of Fan Club just to help get us those Beldums super early. Maybe Beldum, Vulpix, maybe grab a Lele, anything along those lines. We're playing 2 copies of Tate and Liza, so you could, I guess, swap these around if you wanted 4 Lilies. I wouldn't put that, I wouldn't put it against you, but I do like the ability to switch and, of course, have the Shauna effect as well. So I like Tate and Liza. 3 copies of Choice Band because we want to do as much damage as possible, so that's what we're doing. 10 copies of Metal Energy because, we kind of need them. And then we have, of course, 2 copies of the Psychic. I like to run 2 copies of Psychic, and I like to at least run 12 energies in my Metagross decks. I've played Metagross time and time again and have just whiffed energy on 10 energy in the deck, 11 energy. I can't explain it. It just happens. So I like having that extra one. Plus, we are running some tech guys. If we do need that psychic energy and it ends up prized, we have a backup. So that's always great. With all of that being said, we are going to go get some battles with this deck and see how well it can do on the ladder. As you can see, I haven't been able to do much. I actually had attempted making this video some time back, and everything went wrong that could have went wrong, and I gave up on the video, and I never had any free time since. So here we are, like a week and a half later. This is great. So we're gonna see if we're gonna go first or second here. I hope this person's not AFK. I really don't want to have to do any sort of editing. And all right. You won the coin flip. Yes, I would love to go first. This is a deck that pretty much needs it. Alright, well, good news for you. You get to see him playing Metagross. Congratulations. Though it shouldn't be a surprise, I did match everything to the theme of the deck, metal. See a water box. I really didn't pay attention too much to what they had. I'm just worried that this is going to be some kind of new player, because I don't know, I'm just worried. I'd rather have an actual game than a random person. Alright, so I guess we lead off with Delmise because I'd rather Lele. So not the best start, but it's okay. We can definitely grab a few things here, and I'm just debating on whether or not I want to grab a supporter. Well, I mean, of course I'm going to grab a supporter, but what supporter am I going to want to grab? That is the real question. So I think we put the metal energies in the discard pile. And I would love to grab Vulpix. We prize the Beldum. We have all our Metagross. Prize 2 energy. We prized Cynthia and a Guzma and a rare candy. So of course they don't want to get rid of rare candy now. So let's go ahead and I guess just grab a Beldum for now, because of course we're going to want the Beldum in play. I think we just Lele for a Cynthia and use Cynthia at this point, though. I can't really afford to Ultra Ball any of those things. I could actually Lily. I don't think Lily is a bad option. It keeps Ultra Ball and Rare Candy in our hand. And we have Guzma for the following turn as well. So I don't think that was too bad of an idea. And I think I'm just going to Ultra Ball, probably Enhance Hammer. It looks like he's running a water deck. I'm not entirely sure if there's going to be any double colors. There could very well be, but not entirely sure. And I guess I'll just do Tate and Liza. So let's go ahead and grab that last. I probably should have held this for next turn. Well, let's just grab the Metagross. If they have a way to remove it, then remove it from my hand, then they have a way to shuffle my hand. But other than that, that's fine. We'll go ahead and Guzma and Algorithm next turn, probably. And grab a few things. Right, so we're going to see an Ultra Ball come down. Probably going to be searching for Lele to put some more Pokemon, or just get a supporter, shuffle the hand. I'm not entirely sure. So let's see. 70 HP. I'm wondering if Vulpix is an actual part of the deck. Okay, so there is double colorless energy. So this could very well be either Baby Vulpix or not Baby Baby Ninetales or Ninetales-GX, which of course either way could definitely be troublesome. They're also going to go ahead and do a turn 1 Lily here. We did see a Marshtomp go into the discard pile and a Water Energy. Water Energy is a little troublesome because then that means they can Aqua Patch it, and I'm pretty sure they're probably going to hit that one of these turns. So it looks like Ninetales is definitely a part of this deck. We do see another Vulpix come down, and we'll see where the Water Energy actually goes. If it goes to the Vulpix, I'm expecting this to be a very offensive Ninetales deck. If it goes to here, then I definitely have to worry about Swampert, because I know Swampert does get a little bit of extra damage based on its energy count. So yeah. But I know people tend to play Swampert more for its ability than for attacking purposes. But he could definitely be just using Vulpix to do a whole lot of stuff here. Probably expect to see a Swampert. Alright. A Baby Ninetales and a Mudkip. So, good thing we are playing a couple copies of those Metangs. So, let's go ahead, Rare Candy you, because of course I need to do so. We'll go ahead and Guzma up you at this point. I will of course send up Metagross. I think I will not only attach to that, but I will also Geotech System to you, because on the following turn we can pay for your retreat cost and maybe get better Pokemon into play. So let's go ahead and Algorithm. I'm probably going to end up grabbing a Metang for sure. I think Solgaleo is also kind of an okay one to grab. We have a supporter. I'm trying to think. Grab a Psychic Energy. I might want to take Eliza just to switch. We might just want to Beldum. And I guess I'm going to grab Tate and Liza. Sorry. I needed more time to think about that, and that stupid timer just came off. Like, I need to pick 5 cards from my deck game. You can't really rush that. My thought process was we should probably get another Beldum in play. I can use Beldum against Baby Alone Ninetales if I need to. Metang as well, but I definitely wanted to grab I wanted to grab a whole bunch of stuff. I just was definitely forced into picking something there, so not too good. Thankfully though, with Delmise we do actually hit Swampert for enough damage, which is fantastic. They're actually going to be targeting down the Delmise here, which I'm very surprised to see, honestly. I did kind of really just expect maybe something else, but I'm not sure. Alright, so at this point I gotta decide whether or not I want to do some stuff. Alright, so we're gonna see a Slugma. Alright, so they're playing Metagross as well, which is of course going to put a card at the top of their deck so that way they can draw into it with Swampert. Does 80 plus 20 more, so right now it's doing 100. and we're going to take 80. Alright, so not the supporter I actually wanted to see, but we will. So Metang can actually survive a hit, so that's very important here. We go ahead and Taint and Liza the Delmise and swap it with Metang at this point. We will then go ahead and Geotech System to Metang because of course we want to do so. Then we will attach an energy to Metagross, we'll bench the Beldum and probably the Solgaleo, and we will just ram for this turn. I know it's not the best damage output, but two of those are enough to get a knockout, and they can't one-shot me. All I have to do is draw into a max potion, which of course we have 3 left in the deck, and we have we have Cynthia in the hand, so I'm looking pretty good here, if I do say so myself. Interesting to, and definitely interested in seeing what they're going to want to put at the top of their deck and draw into. We'll probably see that card, of course, right away. Probably a supporter. They have a very low hand size, even though Swampert will allow them to, you know, draw some more cards, but still. The thing I like a lot about Swampert is people had initially thought that Zoroark and Alolan Ninetales paired well with each other because of Aqua Patch, Water Energy Discard combinations. But Swampert just does it for itself, and I think that's really fantastic overall. So we're going to see Rare Candy to Swampert, going to use Power Draw again. Using multiple Power Draws per turn is definitely really solid, very strong. I've seen people tech this into a lot of different things, and I don't blame them. And I think what's really cool is if you ever do go up against a water weak deck, that Swampert is just really solid. 160 HP. It runs on pure colorless energy, so Choice Band and attacking, that's pretty solid damage just right there. So I'm gonna pull up my Solgaleo here. Not the worst thing to pull up, honestly. Could think of something worse to pull up, but definitely annoying with that 3 retreat cost for sure. But all I have to do is draw into Guzma, and then pow. I've undone your turn. Come on, top deck Guzma. I really wanted that to be Guzma. Alright, we'll get another Metang into play just because it's looking like it's going to be pretty important in this matchup. And what else do we got? Not really a whole lot. We do have Guzma for the next turn. We're going to have to pass here. Don't like having to pass, but they've already gone through 3 of their Guzma. And if they are playing a 4th, they're going to have to use it wisely. And who knows if they are playing the other form of Ninetales or not. So unless they're going to want to do Ninetales and then snipe Delmise, but of course we have ways of getting Delmise back, so I don't know. We'll see what they decide on doing. Very large hand size though, for sure. Power Draw is so good. It really is. I should definitely try to make some sort of deck with it, but the thing is, Swampert doesn't fit into everything as well as Zoroark. It's a stage 2, it runs on double colorless energy alone, but Swampert's ability is fantastic. So we're going to see a Cynthia come down. They've discarded quite a bit. Probably going to Aqua Patch here if I had to guess. Another great thing about water decks is if you have something like Alolan Vulpix in the active, it costs a single energy to retreat, and as long as you've Aqua Patched your bench, you have multiple energy attachments per turn, so you can afford to do the manual retreat, which is pretty good. But again, we have Guzma. I'm not sure if our opponent is playing anything to get their Guzmas back. I would hope that they're smart enough to go ahead and play copies of Palpad, but you never know. Some people like certain cards more than others. I'm a person that really enjoys Palpad. So Let's go ahead and pull you up, and why not get the knockout? Swampert probably was actually a better idea to pull up just to make sure it got knocked out. I'm thinking a little too... I really do need to start sitting there and thinking about my actions a little bit more. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. This was only bothering me because it stops my Metagross from doing anything. So there's that. We got our rescue stretcher back, so that's great. So probably expect to be getting knocked out here. Really needed to think about that a little bit more. That was definitely the correct play. I really messed up because they could have sent up a little Ninetales. I wouldn't have been able to attack it. I just retreat, and yeah, that was stupid on my part. It really was. There is something difficult to me, at the very least, of recording and talking, because I don't want there to be any weird, awkward silences, and I'm just, you know, I'm trying to do two things at once. I need to practice a little bit more. That's what this is here for. You know, these are just practices for when I really make the quality videos. But yeah. Swampert really not a holographic rare. It's such a good card, unless they're... Oh, didn't they put it in a theme deck, didn't they? That's probably why they didn't make it a... They want you to buy those. Pokemon definitely needs to up their theme deck, though. Like, I've bought Yu-Gi-Oh! Theme decks in the past, and they come with a few holos. You buy the Pokemon, you get the one, you know, super cool holo one, but other than that, that's all you get. You get like a normal version of it afterwards. Like, come on, give me like 2 of them. Also, you know, give me a better structure deck. Aqua Patch probably come down to the other Swampert at this point, unless they're gonna want to try and set up another Ninetales. Ninetales probably just like a one-off tech in this deck. Honestly, it's probably more of a Swampert deck. As long as I have this Delmise, though, it really puts our opponent in a bad spot. You know, honestly, maybe this wasn't a terrible play. Yes, he does get to knock out my Metang, but he's only knocking out a Metang. He's not getting a whole lot of damage off on a Metagross, and then putting it in range for a knockout, which is pretty solid. So there is always that. I will go ahead and I will shuffle the 3 into our deck, and I will put both of them back because I would like to do so now if possible. We are going to evolve into this one just so we have a backup Metagross, and I think I'm going to Ultra Ball these away and just grab that Beldum. And I'm going to hope that I can draw into a Metang to evolve into Metang. So let's go ahead and Cynthia here. And we got a max potion for next turn, which I like a lot. We've already used 2 Cynthia and 2 Guzma, and both of our Tantalizes, so Pal Padding wouldn't be the worst idea, but we'll hold on to it for now. We will go ahead and Giga Hammer for the knockout. Exact damage knockout. So Delmise actually turning out to be a very good start in this game. Got another rare candy. Probably don't need it, honestly. But, you know, thanks. So we'll see what they do. If they don't evolve the Vulpix, we'll retreat. Oh, I don't want to retreat into Beldum. I could actually go into Delmise, but I don't want to lose Delmise either. What would we like to go to? Alright, well, now we kind of have to go into some guy that can do damage to this, so there's that. But as I said earlier, you know, we got Algorithm off, and there wasn't much our opponent could do about it. So I really like that a lot. I definitely need to think it out a little bit more before I do so. I'll probably think about cards I want to grab, and then while the counter's going down, start looking for them. Give myself a little bit more time. I'm sorry. You know, the problem is I was always so used to TCGO allowing you to have those long turns to think about things, and it was just going on your timer, and we didn't have that little timer that popped up. They're like, you better make your move or you're not doing anything. Alright, so we're gonna see Cynthia. You know what might be like an interesting thing? If like the timer ran out and then you had like a 5-second additional timer that says, what do you want to do? And it says play a card in your hand or like attack or something. I don't know. It might be interesting because that thing has ruined. It really has actually ruined games for me, because I was doing things and I hit the buttons, but it just ended my turn on me anyways. So, man, these turns are about 10 hours long. I feel like I'm playing Night March, but just the turn 1 of Night March every single round. Alright, so we have the capability of doing damage, but we don't have the actual guy that we need. So that's the issue. Let's go ahead and grab a Cynthia and a Guzma here, I think. He can't. Oh, so he's actually just going to concede. Alright, well, I don't think I would be knocking out Ninetales that turn. I'd be doing 60 damage to it, and then probably having a retaliated knockout, and then could have been annoying. But, alright, so our opponent will concede there. Not really a favorable matchup. Half their deck's weak to us. The other half doesn't do enough damage and gets one shot. So, yeah, that was I guess that's a pretty good showing of what Metagross can do. It has too much HP to really, like, attempt to do damage to just have it removed. I mean, of course, you want to do the damage because you force your opponent to play in the max potions, but again, that's why we're playing Oranguru. We're going to get those max potions back. I will prioritize getting those max potions back, just to be that annoying. Alright, looks like we're playing against a Rayquaza deck. We'll go with heads because I can't afford to see. Oh, it breaks my heart. Totodile, where have you gone? Now, I'm interested to see if this is going to be a Beast Box Rayquaza deck, or I think that's honestly like one of the only ones that's viable other than Vikavolt. Unless somebody's come up with this really crazy deck idea, I'd definitely be curious about. So, there is rare candy that probably signals a Vikavolt. So, alright. Yes, I would love to draw a card. Our hand is not too great. Not at all. Alright, so first Rayquaza comes down. They're going to be able to attach a energy and another one. So great start. Lele, I might actually want to concede this one. This is going to be a very terrible start. Alright, they're going to grab Lily, go for the turn 1 Lily. See what they get. Another Rayquaza. That is definitely a better artwork for Lily than the original full art Lily. I like that one a lot. Alright, that's a pretty solid turn on their part. Tell you what I can do. Honestly, I don't even know. Attach this, pass. Not a whole lot I can do here. This is not a very usable hand. They went all out on the Rayquaza theme, I see. The deck box, the sleeves, the actual cards. Oh no, Guzma, you're going to kill my Beldum with an energy on it. Oh no. Whatever will I do? Alright, well, let's see what we get. Supporter? Alright, we don't gotta play. Oh, well, you know, I'll try. I will, at the very least, attempt to do this. At the very least. It's the least I can do. Do that 20 damage. Pass. Oof. This is so bad. There's so many like actual combination of cards that could have been useful, and then we drew another energy. Alright, we're still in this, boys. Let's go. Alright. Awesome. Okay. That was stupid. Drawing another energy, drawing into another one. I know we play a lot. I do know that, but come on. Rayquaza plays a lot more energy than I do, and they... oof. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Alright. Hey, I didn't realize we were doing a challenge too on top of everything. That's killing 2 birds with 1 stone right there. Alright, so... get one more, just because there was nothing I could do there. I tried, game. I tried. You didn't work with me. Another Tails. You're upsetting me, game. Oh, I should have had a Metagross. What was I thinking? Are we actually playing against another Metagross deck? That is pretty cool. This is going to be a very boring game. I'll tell you that for sure. Because Metagross mirrors are not a whole lot of fun. But they're actually playing Metagross and Seaman's Resolve. So I'm assuming it's going to be the stage, or the baby Metagross. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, please give me all of the mulligans. Oh, our turn 1 is fantastic. We just attach, retreat into Vulpix, we Pokemon Fan Club, we Ultra Ball for something. We're good to go. Next turn, Ultra Ball, Rare Candy Metagross. Perfect opening hand. See, this is what you lead off with. This sort of hand. Not that here's 5 energy for you. This is actually pretty nice, though, I will admit. After that last game, it's nice to go ahead and actually play down cards I would like to play down. So, let's go ahead and bench all of you, and we will probably get rid of these guys, because they're probably the most expendable cards at the moment. We did prize another Beldum. Dhelmise might actually be something we want to grab for this matchup in general. Same as Solgaleo, but I want to get my Beldums in play as soon as possible. We did not prize any energy, but it looks like we prized a Cynthia, a rare candy, a potion, and a Metang. Alright. Yep, that's fine. And then we will go ahead and, I guess, grab a Metang and probably Solgaleo. I do really want to get Solgaleo into play. I think that Corona Impact is going to do a lot of damage. I don't think we're going to have to worry about getting one shot, and I think that's pretty solid. So... the only thing that would have been better on Solgaleo is if it said, like, this Pokemon loses 2 energy instead of not being able to attack again, obviously. Because then we can just reattach those energies and keep going to town with them. Alright, so we got 1 Metagross into play. That's 170. Yeah, so, okay. No, I was thinking at 160 for some reason, so I did my math a little bit wrong. We do need Dhelmise still. Damn you, Dhelmise! Alright, evolve you into you, and we will go ahead and Cynthia, so we can get some cards. You know, Cynthia is a pretty cool dancer. Nobody's going to get that reference, and that's okay. Let's go ahead and evolve into Metagross. We will do this. We will retreat. And we will go ahead and Geotech System so we can Algorithm. Go ahead and Geotech System again. Probably a little too early to be attaching this much energy to the active, but it saves me some time and effort next turn. And we will now go ahead and Algorithm. And I assume we want to grab probably a Metagross. Probably gonna want to grab... what did you attach? You just attached regular old metal. Probably gonna want to grab a Max Potion, so we have one. Grab an energy for sure. We want that. Grab another one. Grab another one. And why don't we grab an Ultra Ball? And instead of grabbing the Metagross, why don't we grab Dandelions, just to be on the safe side. So idea here is we have energy for a manual attachment on the next turn. We have Ultra Ball for the other 2 energy. We can maybe try and get Sagaleo going. And we can also try and get Radiant Star to work too if we really wanted to. So I guess let's just do that. So Ultra Ball these away for our Metagross instead of just grabbing Metagross. Going to just go ahead and attach this. I mean, we don't have any other tools, so I guess it's not really. I will go ahead and Lily. I do want a few more cards. We'll go ahead and get rid of this too. Alright, let's just Giga Hammer for a knockout. Our opponent doesn't seem to have too much going on for them right now, but this Metagross is pretty strong. Oh, they're actually just going to concede. Alright, well, that is Metagross for you, I guess. Not the ideal games, but they are games nonetheless. Maybe we'll do an additional video for this in the future just to get some more games with it, but until then I will thank you all so much for watching, and until later I will see you then. Bye bye. I messed that outro up so bad, but whatever.